Welcome, Creekside kindergarten parents. Welcome to our community. Creekside's a great place to be. We have a wonderful community here, wonderful bunch of caring teachers, and we think you're going to have a great experience. We appreciate you trusting your children to us for a school year. Our 4 teachers, all with the experience, all dedicated teachers, are looking forward to working with your kids. They've been here preparing since August 1st, working like busy bees, preparing their classrooms to be ready for the children on day 1. They are a firm believer in our vision statement, and that is working together to grow young minds. You'll see that posted over top of the school main doors as you come in. And they're a firm believer in that, working with you, working with your kids, working together as teachers to make sure that the kids have a great experience. So we appreciate, again, your support and your trust in us and sending your kids to our school. And we're going to do our very best to keep that trust. Now, day 1 will be an emotional day for you. Your kids are going to come and they're going to enter through the south side of the building. That's where the buses are going to drop many of the kids off. If you drop off in front of the school, if you park in front of the school with your kids, you'll need to loop around from the west side of the building where the main doors are, following the sidewalk around the outside until you come to the entrance, the bus entrance. That's on the south side of the building. There will be a series of cones and some lines in the sidewalk marked out with colored chalk with teachers' names on there. Your children will enter that coned off area by themselves. That's where you give them their hugs and say goodbye and share some tears maybe and things of that sort. They'll be excited and you might have the tears, but you'll drop them off there and you can take pictures and wait, and once they get all lined up, we will take them into the building teacher by teacher. And that's where you say your goodbyes. I know you will feel the desire to want to follow them into the building. We find, though, that just delays the separation. It makes things more difficult if a child is a little traumatized, a little unsure as they're entering the building. You might want to feel the desire to come in and follow them. That is not the best practice we have found from years of experience. They might be in tears, but 5-10 minutes into class, they will be happy and they'll be adjusting and be getting used to their new environment. I will be taking a picture of every one of the kindergarten classes throughout the day, and I'll email those out to you through the class mass emails, just to show you the happy kids. I'd like to talk a little bit about the routines that kindergartners are going to experience as they come into school. We have a very strong language arts program. We have something called Readers and Writers Workshop, where the kids are going to, you'll be amazed, mid-year they'll come home reading if they are not already there. When they also, by the end of the year, they'll be writing their own little books and stories. The curriculum is fabulous. The teachers do a great job with it. You'll be impressed with how strong they are in terms of language arts at the end of the year. Math, likewise. They do a lot of very heavy math compared to the days when I was in elementary, kindergarten. I remember bringing my math to school and enjoying the snacks and playing a lot of games and things like that. There is a very strong academic element to kindergarten these days. You can speak to your teacher about more specifics on the curriculum. They do have science that they learn, and also social studies, and work on some social studies skills. And so those 4 domains will be part of their daily routine. In addition, we have recess. They have 3 recesses. They have lunch recess, recess in the morning, recess in the afternoon. We want to make sure there's plenty of time for free play and exploration. That's part of the educational process. We also want to give them time to build up the social skills, to learn how to build relationships, to carry on conversations, things of that sort. We want to encourage independence. In addition, there will be a snack time. Each day your teachers have probably sent you some information or will send you information about snacks. 3 out of our 4 rooms will be peanut-free rooms, or nut-free rooms, excuse me. And that means that the snacks that you bring in, send in with your kids, need to comply with that. I know it's difficult, but we work very hard to make sure that Creekside is a safe and secure place for all students. And in the rooms where the students are going to be, some of them are so sensitive if they touch a table that's been touched with nuts, or with a hand that's held a peanut butter sandwich or something like that, they're going to have a reaction. So the 3 rooms that are going to be peanut free are Mrs. Spiker's room, Mrs. Sater's room, and Mrs. Kelly's room. The teachers will share more about that individually to you in their information that they send home. So I talked about recess time. We value recess time. It is an important part of the kids' day. We want them to play. We want them to be kids, and we know that there's a very important educational element that depends on their ability to be able to interact in an unstructured environment. Another part of their daily routine will be essentials classes, and there's 4 different essentials classes that they take. They are art, music, media, and phys ed, and they'll take these on a rotating basis. There's a specific calendar for each class, and teachers will share that calendar with you. They're great classes. The kids love them. Really look forward to essentials. That is at 12:45 each day. Let me talk for a moment about lunch. That starts at 11:30 every day. There's a recess before that that starts at 11:10, actually 11:15, so they have about 15 minutes at recess, and then they come in and they have 25 minutes for lunch. We've extended lunch out this past year just because it seems to take a little bit longer for kindergartners to eat their lunch. Lunch is can be a social time for the kids, but we encourage them to socialize, but also to eat. The kindergartners will drag and drag and drag if we let them. So the lunch parapros, the lunch ladies, will spend a lot of time encouraging the kids, as well as helping them, take care of their lunch. They have 2 options. Number 1, they can bring their lunch, or number 2, they can buy their lunch. If they buy their lunch, we use a debit card system. They've got a card with their name on it that's going to be organized according to class. They don't carry that card. That card stays in our lunchroom in a tab. The kids will go up and be able to pull it out according to their picture and hand it to the lunch lady. You would provide money. You can send in a check written out to Heartland Consolidated Schools that would be applied to their account, and then when they pull that debit card out and pass it through the register, money's withdrawn from their secretaries, Miss Marianne Zrosely and Miss Kendra Prock, that are there to help you and assist you in a friendly manner. Mrs. Marianne Zrosely, she handles the medical concerns of our school. She's what we call our medical parapro. She will address any kind of medical concerns that you have. I'd like to remind you again, I think you were reminded in your registration packets that all medication that comes to school needs to come with a doctor's note. We have a form that's found online at the Creekside website, found at Heartland Consolidated Schools website. You can download that form. It has to be signed by your doctor with the name of the prescription or the name of the over-the-counter medication that your son or daughter needs, and how often they need it, dosage, and things of that sort. So we have that information. You give that to Mrs. Rosley along with the medication. We keep it here at the school. If we do not have that note, that signed off document by your doctor, we cannot have medication here at school, and we certainly can't administer medication. So please make sure you have that in line. If you have any questions about that, please ask Miss Marianne. Absences are something that we like to track and monitor and make sure that we know where your children are at. If they don't arrive here on the bus, We hope that you send in a note or make a call. If you do not, we'll be making a call to you just so that we know where your kids are. We feel a certain sense of responsibility during the school day for them, a large sense of responsibility for them while here at school or not here at school, just knowing where they are, making sure that they didn't miss a bus stop and they're out in the neighborhood or something of that sort. And we know that you appreciate that care and concern that we have as well. Your teachers have specific classroom guidelines. They'll share that with you. The general guidelines for the school district are found in this handbook. It is the Elementary Parent Student Handbook. You can find this online. We don't print it anymore. As a cost-saving measure, and as part of being a green school, we just put this online. If you would like a printed copy, though, you can ask the front office, and we do have a few copies of them. That contains a lot of specific details. For instance, if you'd like to know about more about our medical policy, you can read information in there. If you'd like to know about our attendance policy, you can read more there. If you'd like to know, for instance, what is our cold weather policy? When do we have kids outside, and when do we keep them inside for recess? And there's details about that. So lots of information in this. Again, you can see it online. One final thing I'd like to share with you is some information about our need for you to be here in school. We really value the parent contribution to our school. As I mentioned, our school vision statement is working together to grow young minds, and that means working with you, working with kids, working with our community. We would love to be able to see our parking lot filled every day with parent volunteers who are coming in, volunteering in the kindergarten classroom, volunteering as copy moms, working with PTO on projects, volunteering in the lunchroom. We have all kinds of opportunities for you to come and help out. It may be that you're a working parent and you can't be here, but you take off, say like the Halloween holiday, and there might be a need for you to volunteer in a class project for Halloween or for Christmas or something of that sort. But there's all kinds of opportunities. We encourage you to get involved in the PTO. In fact, each class needs a PTO ambassador. If you're interested in doing that, see your classroom teacher. We'd love to have you here helping out. We're so grateful for you and for your support of Creekside and your trust in us and sending your kids here. We look forward to a great year. If you have any questions, I'm accessible. I'll be out every morning, most every morning, at drop-off. I'm around at bus pickup. I have an open door. If you need to have an appointment with me, you can call Miss Kendra Prock at 810-626-2600, our school number, and make an appointment. And I'd be glad to talk with you about any concerns that you have. I look forward to a great year. Thank you.